Of the 25 cars sold at a certain dealership yesterday, some had automatic transmission and some had anti-lock brakes. How many of the cars had automatic transmission but not anti-lock brakes? So, from just the rhythm of this question, I can tell it is an overlapping set question. What are our groups? We have cars that have the automatic transmission, which means we have to have cars that don't have the automatic transmission. Then we get cars with the anti-lock brakes and cars without the anti-lock brakes. And this should represent all of our cars that we're talking about. So what can we fill in from our prompt? So first, we know we got 25 cars that were sold yesterday. So that is our total cars, meaning it is the bottom right. This is universal, so I can circle that so I know not to erase it. And then that is the only given information. Then we know our question. How many of the cars had automatic transmission? So, but not anti-lock brakes. So that is this cell here we are looking for. Transmission, no brakes. And from there, I think we can move on to our statements. Statement 1, all of the cars that had anti-lock brakes also had automatic transmission. So if car had the brakes, and it also had the transmission. It does not mean that if you had the automatic transmission, you also had the anti-lock brakes. So how does this translate to what we can fill in, or something we can fill into our table? So if you have the brakes, then you also had the transmission, which means this group here, brakes, no transmission, has to be 0, right? Because if you have the brakes, you also got to have the automatic transmission. So it also means this box here is also going to be equal to this box here. So total brakes is going to be equal to the people that had brakes and transmission. I'm going to put a little 1 here so I know this is from statement 1 because I have to ignore it when I look at statement 2. But other than that, clearly I cannot get to what I am looking for here. So this is insufficient by itself. Statement 2, 2 of the cars had neither automatic transmission nor anti-lock brakes. So we got a 2 here for the number of cars in this group. Let's get a little 2 here, so I know this is from statement 2. Remember, we got to ignore this one when we're looking by itself. So there's really not much else I can fill in. This statement is insufficient by itself, and we can go straight to looking at them together. So together, what do I know? So if this is 0, this is 2, then my total cars without the transmission is also got to be 2, which means my total cars with the transmission is going to be 23. And that looks like it is as far as I can go. I cannot get to my cell here, transmission, but no brakes. And so together it looks like we're still insufficient. That's a pretty straightforward, easy overlapping set problem. You want to be able to recognize this pretty quickly.